A very good morning to all ladies and gentlemen, and an absolutely warm welcome to the Singapore FinTech Festival 2020. Now, today is the very first day, and we look forward to having many fruitful days ahead with each and every single one of you in the week ahead. And of course, the very first session we've planned for you, it is Banking with DBS in conversation with Shi Zi Kun, Group Executive and Country Head, DBS. Let's welcome him. Sir, please.
Good morning. My name is Zikun. I'm the country head for DBS Singapore. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at the first virtual Singapore FinTech Festival. Well, the SFF is a very important event because every year during this time, we bring together stakeholders from across the ecosystem in the region to come and share insights and learnings so that we can shape the future of financial services in the region. Now, 2020 is a monumental year, not just because we are in the midst of this global pandemic, but also because before the end of this year, we will see the announcement of many aspiring or some aspiring and hopeful digital banks. So I'd like to take this opportunity to share some of my thoughts, what it means for us in DBS, and more importantly, for our customers who rely on us during good times and bad times. Now, we would probably have read many of these headlines that Singapore wants to be the Asian hub for digital banks. We have also seen probably some headlines that big techs are coming for banking, and some would go even as far as saying that this is game over for traditional banks. Now, in some of these surveys, we have seen that 2 out of 3 retail consumers in Singapore are open to digital-only banks for various reasons, from faster services, convenience, to the fact that they no longer have to wait behind a line. And on the SME front, it is the same. 9 out of 10 SMEs have indicated that they are open to digital-only banks because they believe that through it they can access banking at a lower cost, or they can access services in a more convenient fashion. So as we read all these data points, it begs a few questions. Firstly, what does all of this mean for incumbent banks like us in DBS? Second question is whether customers, especially through these challenging times, are still looking for cool and innovative banks, or are they looking for banks which are tried and tested, which are safe and trusted? But I would say a very, very important point or question should really be this: whether what the aspiring digital bank hopefuls are saying that they have done or they're doing or that they will do, have we done these things already? And if so, have we done it better? Now, but before I do that, I thought it might be helpful to bring some additional lens to this. Now, beyond the press coverage that we have all read, there are also independent publications that we have looked at, which suggest that there are a few coveted attributes that they look for in successful digital banks. So, for example, let me read them to you. They say that a successful digital bank ought to be ready for the sharp rise in demand for digital banking services during the pandemic. This bank should have invested heavily in all things digital and created an inclusive and efficient banking culture. They say that this bank should have had shown the power of being articulate about digital banking, and the bank has long since entrenched an entrepreneurial and tech-led culture which pervades every business line and every level of seniority. Now, these are some of the quotes and citations from independent publications in the industry about what they look for in successful digital banks. Now, let me now talk a little bit about what we have already done and what we are doing in DBS. Now, in DBS, being the development bank of Singapore, development is really rooted in our DNA. Now, today, 4 in 5 Singaporeans already bank with us. And we have witnessed over this whole period a digital boom, a change in customer behavior. Now, just to give you an indication, today, more than 95% of all financial transactions coming through DBS is already done digitally. And especially over this last year of crisis, we have seen an acceleration in digital adoption. So for example, we have seen a 2 times increase in digital adoption in our monthly active digital users. Now, on the SME front, and SMEs being the bedrock of the economy, we have also seen a similar shift. So just to give you an indication, the customers that we have that have moved from physical to digital by adopting Ideal, which is our equivalent of digital banking for corporates, have seen a more than 4 times increase over the last year. We have also seen them transacting in their payments with a 6-fold increase in corporate pay now transactions, which means a reduction in cash and checks into digital payments. During this period, as they need more working capital lines to keep their businesses running, in DBS, we have already processed over 5,000 loans for micro SMEs worth about over $800 million, of which about half of these are applied for and processed digitally. So this behavior has shifted, and this shift is here to stay. And this is one of the reasons what we have done over the last couple of years have served us well. As you can see, we have moved from just a pure physical brick and mortar bank into what we would call now a phygital bank, a bank that has digital at the core with a lot of digital assets and digital capabilities, but yet augmenting that with our physical presence. And even within our physical presence, we have self-service terminals, we have self-service machines that can serve our customers. So in this way, we have enabled a phygital model as part of this transformation. Now, just to give you an experience of what it is like working or banking with DBS. So from the time we open an account right to our everyday banking transactions and everyday banking needs, and right through to even our episodic needs, such as our financial planning, our retirement planning, we have got you all covered digitally. And the same is true for our support and for our interactions with our corporate, our SME customers. That from the time of account opening right through to their day-to-day, everyday banking business transactions, they can do so with us through a single platform digitally. And I would like to also call out that a lot of these transformations we have done is really through continual innovation and leveraging of new technologies. Just to give you an example, this year in July, we partnered with Singpass, GovTech, to roll out the first ever. We were the first bank to roll out facial verification through Singpass. And now, just with 15 clicks, leveraging facial recognition, just like taking a selfie, an account can be opened in just 15 clicks and access to their digital banking capabilities as well. And this same capability has also been rolled out for the SMEs in November this year. Now, apart from all the transformation that I've just talked about earlier on, what we have also done already is that we have continued to innovate and now leverage data and leverage technology and AI to bring a bank that is not just a bank for all, but a bank for you. So if we look at the leftmost pillar in this slide, we have now become a bank that is intelligent, that is invisible, that's intuitive, a banking not just for all segments, but for you individually, because we can hyper-personalize what you need, both for individuals and for our corporate customers. Now, in the middle pillar, when we talk about our merchants, right, these are also our SME customers. Now, what we have done is to help enable them in their own digital transformation journey, and at the same time help them with digital collections and digital payments. Now, on the right-handmost column, we have also enabled our APIs to connect with multiple ecosystem partners and orchestrate seamless, effortless experiences for all our customers. I want to call out Paylah in particular, that through Paylah, which is today an everyday banking app, you can book a transport, you can order your food, you can buy a ticket for movies, you can avail for yourselves the various reward programs that we have already enabled with our partners. I'd like to take this opportunity again to highlight that in this intelligent, invisible, intuitive banking, the DBS NAV Planner, in our financial planning journey, what we have already done is that we have enabled 1.8 million of our consumer customers to do financial planning with us through this tool. And over this period, there are 400,000 customers that we have helped to already turn their finances around from a monthly debit in their account to now a monthly credit with proper, good retirement and financial planning. So what really sets us apart? Now, there are a few things. Firstly, we are a bank that already has a full suite of products and services that serves across all segments. And this breadth and this depth of offering cannot be so simply just replicated and achieved overnight. So this is what already sets us apart. So whether it is just from a simple savings account for your child, right through to more complex, sophisticated products that you need, we've got all of that covered, from the individual right through to the SME, right through to the large corporates. Now, there has also been a lot of attention and a lot of discussions about the unbanked and the underbanked. But I like to say that in DBS, these are no longer unbanked or underbanked. In Singapore, we already have a vast majority market share of our migrant workers' banking needs covered. So we have over 60%, actually about 65% of the market share today. And just to give you an indication, during this challenge of the COVID-19, when a lot of these migrant workers were quarantined in their dormitories, over a period of 2-3 weeks, we opened more than 40,000 accounts digitally for these migrant workers, and at the same time, help them to remit money back home to their loved ones who were still looking for their remittance home to get on with their lives. And this we did in a matter of weeks, and we look forward to completing this journey before the end of this year to bank all migrant workers. So this is where we are differentiated. Now, on the second point, we have accessibility for our customers through omni-channels. So yes, our digital core is very, very strong and robust, but over and above that, we also differentiate ourselves, recognizing that in banking, there will always be some moments or some services that require high touch. And this is where our phygital models actually differentiate us. And finally, we are differentiated by our best-in-class experience from what I've mentioned earlier on, through facial recognition, 15 clicks and an account is open, right through to our connectivity with ecosystem partners, orchestrating seamless, effortless banking. These are all best-in-class customer experience that we have put together for our customers. Now, I've mentioned earlier these citations. I've mentioned earlier on these quotes from independent industry publications about what they look for in successful digital banks. Well, this is the Digital Bank of Singapore, DBS. These were the accolades that we have won as best digital bank in the world twice over the last couple of years, and as the best bank in the world consecutively over the last 3 years. These were quotations, citations from Global Finance magazine, from Euromoney, about why they have recognized us, DBS, as the best digital bank in the world and as the best bank in the world. Well, this is a recognition externally, not just of our achievements, but more importantly, about our commitment to digital transformation, and even more importantly, about the ethos we had as we embarked on this journey. So back to this conundrum that I alluded to earlier on. Are customers looking for banks that are digital and innovative, or are customers looking for banks that are tried and tested, safe, and trusted? I think this is really an important question. Now, in DBS, we are the best of both worlds. So what about that? So some people associate big with slow and safe with boring. Well, DBS has been named Asia's safest bank for 12 consecutive years by Global Finance. Now, at the same time, as you have seen earlier on, with the other accolades that we've won as Best Digital Bank, Best Bank in the World, DBS has actually been able to be successful in bringing these two worlds together. So it is not just sheer coincidence, neither is it out of pure luck, that over the last couple of years, DBS have won the best digital bank in the world and also the best bank in the world over 3 consecutive years. But why are we doing all this? Why have we embarked on all this transformation? It's because we have not forgotten our purpose. Commitment to enabling development has always been in our DNA in DBS. And having a sense of purpose has always not just been in our DNA, but it's actually core to our values. We welcome the aspiring digital bank hopefuls into our world of digital banking. As you have seen, we have already made a great leap into the digital world ourselves because we have never been complacent. We have always recognized the need to be at the forefront of innovation, the forefront of development, even as the nation transforms itself into a smart nation, into a digital economy. So we have done this as part of our DNA in enabling, in supporting the transformation of the nation, in driving and enabling our customers as they transform in their behavior. But why are we truly doing all this? Because we believe that this is truly about making real impact to real lives, to real people, to real businesses in the community. So we look forward to continuing this journey with all our stakeholders. So, a bank that's intelligent, intuitive, and invisible. A bank that is agile, progressive, not just innovative, but also inclusive. A bank that is safe and trusted, driven by a strong sense of purpose. This to us, ladies and gentlemen, is DBS Digibanking. Thank you, and stay safe.